Greetings in Jesus' precious name. My name is Pastor Solomon Silla, and welcome to the Uprising here at Elevate TV, where we are advancing kingdom lifestyle every day. Please follow us on all our social media handles. Utabarikiwa sana sana. Share this with your friend. Call your friend. Call your neighbor. Just tell them you better log in. Check this out. This is a program where you're going to be blessed. And I'm here with an amazing person. She's been a music minister for very many years. And I'm enjoying this.
It's not even been 5.
She's my co-host in this program. We do this together, and I'm enjoying to do this with you every other day.
Absolutely.
We should do this more.
Yes.
Okay. And she's the one and only
Sheila Juma. Okay, no, say it properly. Sheila Juma. Yes. Unajua primary school kuna watu walikuwa wananiita Sheila. I used to hate it.
Sasa kutoka leo watu wangu wote, anaitwa Sheila.
Sheila. Guys, let's be civilized. Sheila, thanks.
You need to follow her on her pages.
Yeah.
Yes, she just released a song recently.
I did.
Yes,
the song is called Gina Hilo. It's part of an album called The Encounter, but we just released the video on YouTube. Yes.
Okay. Follow her. Utabarikiwa sana.
Amen. Now subscribe.
Yes. Oh yeah, hiyo kwanza ya subscription lazima happen.
Kabisa.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And watu wakitafuta ni tu bado Sheila Juma.
So on Instagram, search Sheila Juma, pia utanipata. Okay. Facebook Sheila Juma, Twitter Sheila Juma 20, although Twitter najifunza.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Twitter najifunza. Okay, it's okay. And I also did a song without itakuja inakam. Imagine umdem. Jina kubwa. Hey. Yeah. It's a pleasure. Amen. It's a pleasure to work with you. Last week we had an interesting conversation.
We did.
Yes,
we were talking about pride.
Pride.
For the most part.
We talked about pride, get into that space. Can you handle greatness? Can you handle that space? And a lot of people are challenging me and asking me, Pasi, how do you know? How do you know you've... It's just that question where you ask yourself, are you the one living? Or is it Christ being seen?
Right.
Because we end up losing the minister when they get so consumed with a craft, because it's a craft, it's an art. So when they get so intertwined into the craft and lose just the basics of ministry, I did a very funny post this last week. I did a post on my IG and Facebook. Yeah, I put a guy who was singing Bila, the best of equipment. Amen, tende, amen. And they were clapping with vigor. And what drew me to them, because people will ask me, okay, Pasi, what did you like about the genuineness? We lost that. We're so into getting the things right. I have friends here who work with us in this thing, Kina Peter, Kina Robin, who make us shine and make us look so good on Elevate TV. These are my people. You need to meet these people. They are amazing people. But while working with these guys, sometimes we can get so consumed with the lights.
Yeah.
The preparation, my mic has to be good, and you want to make them look bad, why didn't you get my shot well, and every one of us is serving. Let's talk about that. Kidogo.
It's true. I mean, we get so engulfed in the preparation, which is absolutely important. I think the issue is now when we now get into extremes on both sides.
Yep.
When, where you have that extreme of the preparation for excellence, and then you go to the extreme end of that, which is now you even forget to pray, you forget to include the spiritual matters. You just get so engulfed in, the right, you don't want a cog, you want motive with Yamaha. You don't want this kind of drums. You don't want, and if you don't have any of those things, then you're not able to minister, which is not the case. We will go to so many places and they don't have what you require, and you still have to minister. So getting to the extreme and on both sides is not right, because you'll find other people who don't even want to prepare for service on Sunday. They just piri all the way.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to prepare, they don't want to get the proper instrumentation, kind of instruments for their service. They don't want to have practice. They just say, we'll just flow with the Holy Spirit. That extreme also is not good, because then you need preparation on the musical excellence side. And so I actually saw the video that you posted. I loved it. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so pure. It's so genuine. They're using what they have at that moment to praise God and to bless his name. And it goes the same to even us who have the privilege of having all these instruments. You use what you have to bring praise and glory to God, still having that genuineness. Does not go to say that because we now have all these things does not mean we are not genuine. It just means that we will use what we have and still use the genuineness on the inside of us to just bless the name of the Lord and to just worship him in the spirit and in truth.
True. So but there's that aspect also I want to touch on, the gift of people, the gift of men. God will always send you. Now, I was intentional on touching on these guys who are working with us today. Now, Peter, Robin, Job helps us, Percy helps us. But point is, sometimes we take these gifts for granted and we just think, okay, because I have them, they must be here. And they go through their own personal drama. And sometimes we are not careful on how to handle. Then you wonder why. Why is my thing not, how comes when they work with another person, it's good, it's better than what I have. Okay, what did I do? And you're forgetting just the gift. I found out sometimes people think I've spent too much money in a production, but if they come to know at the end of the day, it's just the gift of people. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about
the gift of people.
Yeah.
I'll talk about this two way. The first way is your personal gift. You know, you've mentioned someone who is working on, let's say, like a camera work, and then when he sees someone else do it for them, do that same work, it turns out better than they would have done, and that is a good place for a person to be, and they can use that space that they're in to grow themselves, because those are good questions they're asking. Why is that person doing it better than I do it? What can I do to get to where they're at? So that inspires growth, that motivates you to actually get better in your giftings and your talent, which actually you should be doing every day, getting better and better day by day. You should never be in a place where you're stagnant and you're like, nimefika, I've learned everything there is to learn. No one has ever reached that place. And so you shouldn't be there. Number two, the gift of people. You say, you've worked on I did a project called The Encounter, the live recording. That project, we need another one.
She did not call me. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't fit enough.
Sir, can we talk about the fact that you did not even attend?
Nilikach. Ilikuwa mauchungu ya kukataliwa. Niliambiwa sitoshi mboga. Jesus.
Anyway.
Niko na maushugu.
That event taught me something. We did spend quite the dollars. But God provided. But the amount that we spent compared to the quality of production that we had cannot be compared. And that is because God gave me men. And God gave me men who were willing to give their gifts and their talents, just willing to be part of the project without even me having to ask them, or without even them quoting how much they want to be paid or whatever. And from the goodness of their own heart, just wanting to be part of the project and to be part of what God was doing at that moment. And I am so grateful, because you find men, and I'm going to mention one person in particular. His name is Sam Kenya. He was the project manager of the whole thing. And he came and he appointed himself. He came and he asked me on my DM some questions. So I heard you're doing a project, yes. So, do you have this in place? No. Do you have this in place? No. He's like, okay, from today I am your project manager. So this is what we need to do. And from then on, he took the project like it was his own thing. In fact, I felt like he was more passionate about it than I was. And his gifts and talents came in so handy into the project. And so I became so, and I still am so grateful and appreciative of the things, of the gifts and talents that God has placed in other people outside of myself, because I cannot be a one-man show. God, I need people around me, and God gave me that, and I'm so appreciative of the gifts and talents that I see all around me. Yes.
So it's just to tell you simply that because this is the uprising. where we talk to growing talent and all that stuff. You need to take care of the people God brings your way. Appreciate it. Sometimes it's not even the cash. It's just appreciating the effort.
Feel appreciated.
The effort. Like the people, just the fact that they came for you. People would stop everything for you. Some people just get too entitled.
Yes.
I've invited some people to minister and they came with this thing, I am so and so.
Right.
Jesus. Please. We've seen many. You're not the first, So you better come, put your entitlement, just take it a notch lower, not even higher. Shukisha. Much lower. Because you need people.
Yes.
There's the people, you are like 6 contacts or 4 contacts away from a person you need.
Yes.
But how you'll get to that person is just through those relationships. It's just through. And it's how you treat them. It's how, I've seen guys work with some cameramen and they say, that guy's not good on the camera at all. He's just, and they just speak evil about that person. Then I go work with that person. Shock on my system. The same person who they said was bad gave me a crazy project till that person calls me. Who did this? And I just tell them, so and so. Pasi, what did you give this man? And I'm just telling them, okay. I even quote the amount I paid. He says, unbelievable. And I told him, gift of people. How do you treat people while you're in your process of growth? Because you cannot just speak evil about everybody. You cannot show the world everybody is wicked. Everybody, no. Because there's something also wrong with you. So it's in that place because Bible says, give and it shall come back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. And it doesn't say shall God, it says shall men. God will send men. He doesn't send angels. So it's in that place. Can you handle people? Can you, because, my dear, you're gifted. That's a fact. Wait. What am I scared with him? Let me show you. Jesus knows all about. Let's go.
Jesus knows all about our trouble.
He will guide.
He will guide till the day is gone.
There is not a friend.
There's not a friend like the lowly Jesus. No, not one. No, not one.
Gifted. But imagine you're doing all that without a keyboardist. It would still sound good. And that's what I want to show you now. Sing the same song without me playing this. Go for it. Go.
Jesus knows all about our troubles. He will guide till the day is gone. There's not a friend like the lowly Jesus. No, not one. No, not one. It's so much better when you're there.
So watch this. You are singing. Are you gifted? Yes, you are.
Yes.
Do you have a good voice? Yes, you do. But question is, now watch this. Sing it again. One more time. Go.
Jesus knows all about our struggles. He will guide till the day is gone. There's not a friend like the lowly Jesus. No, not one. No, not one.
As much as she's gifted, adding what I have to what you have sounds better. It doesn't sound as flat. But now, adding now the instrumentation makes a big difference. So the gift of people adds to what you have. It doesn't mean what you have is inferior.
Right.
It just means they add.
Right.
There is the gift they add. The Bible says, 2 Peter 1:3, He's given us everything we need for life and godliness. Verse 5 says, and to faith add excellence, add knowledge, add it's there are those things. Yes, you are enough in God, but there are people that add to what you have to make it. So that's why the Bible says, Psalm 133, oh, how good and pleasant it is for brothers to live together. There is the blessing of togetherness. That's why we come and bring aspects called harmony. And you need to be careful. I've seen some people just, because it's a song, they just do any kind of harmony. Sing the same song. Let me give you this. Let's go.
Jesus knows
all about our struggles. Dada Penya. He
will guide
till the day is done. There's not a friend like our lowly Jesus. No, not one. Dada kukaribu kukwazika. But that's what we have. Sometimes you find you are well prepared, but the person that sometimes we are forced by ministration aspects to serve with people who are not yet as prepared. And you need to understand, and when you cannot correct it, because sometimes you can't correct it on stage. When you cannot prepare for it, and that's what you found, sometimes it's just good to tell them, sing in one voice. No harmonies, just stay one
melody.
voice. So that it doesn't offend you. Because there are things that just get, for me, trust me, off keys just get me off. Yani, even if I was in the midst of the third heavens, I will drop a little bit just because, it's usually, because when it's been in your system, and you have to grow your gift. Let's talk about that, sis.
Growing your gift.
Growing your gift. Because most people just think, why I'm saying grow your gift, most people go to studio.
Yeah.
And studio has a way of lying to you. Because you'll sing something off, they'll correct it. And most people don't know how to sing after they've sung in studio. We've had those cases, The CD just decides it's not playing. The person cannot sing because they don't know what even they did on studio. They're always lip syncing. Talk about that.
Even going back to what you said first about, in services and places where you go and you're ministering in a church and the people are not prepared or the people are not at the level you're at.
Yeah.
And you get unakwazika. The thing about church is a lot of the people who are in the worship team are not musicians, or they're not singers. They're not professional singers or musicians. These are volunteers. These are people who feel like they can hold a note, who feel like they can, do a harmony, and so they volunteer to do that. And as a singer, a worship leader who finds themselves in such a situation where the volunteers are not as musically grown or matured, vocally or instrumentally, in a position like that, like you said, understanding is number one. But number two, also getting them to understand that this is not just, it's not CU, this is church, this is a service that we have congregation, a congregation of people coming from different walks of life, expecting different things. So we have to be at our best. And getting that mentality into people, it's never the easiest thing to make them realize this is not just See, volunteer just.
Yeah.
We have to. So as a person who's in such a worship team, you're a volunteer. You're someone who's going to volunteer your gifts that you feel like you have into a worship team. I would encourage you to grow that gift because you don't want to give God something half. Yes, he's given you a gift, but please grow it. If it means having vocal exercises, if it every day, if it means getting a vocal lesson, vocal instructor, instrumental, keyboard teacher, whatever you're doing, do everything you can to grow that gift so that you're not frustrating your team members. Any watu wana grow ni wewe tu hutaki ku advance. It's either you grow or you leave. Don't frustrate people.
And just even let me sumbua you there. I know I had asked you another question just before that. And guys, if you have questions, you have stuff you need us to answer, please write to us. We'll deal with this next time when we're having this program. So if you have anything that you want us to deal with, ask those questions. Write to us in Elevate TV Kenya. Utatupata hapa. But just that aspect of, I've been in ministries where the pastor or minister forgets that the people he has in his church are volunteers. You don't pay them to come, and sometimes the rebuking is just out of line. Oh my, oh, yes, I know you are called to that ministry. I know you are the founder of the ministry, but rebuke with grace. There is a place where give your people room to grow. They cannot be snatched in one day, So you are a apostle's daughter. Sorry. Nimetubu on Elevate team. Nimetubu. Yeah. You're apostle's daughter. For you and me, Bishop Son, we started this thing kitambo. So we had the privilege of listening to music early, get set up with music, because the kind of music I would listen to when I was growing up, I was introduced to the likes of Sandy Patty, Lanel Harris, Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir. I was introduced to integrity music at a very young age. By 83, I was listening to the likes of Billy Preston, Keith Green, integrity music. That is what I was introduced to. So I cannot compare myself with somebody else who's a volunteer in church who just started holding the microphone. Recently, after they are 28, now they're saying, okay, I've done this, now let me join ministry. For us, we started very young, we got all the rebukes, but we couldn't run away. It was our parents.
You have to live with them.
You live with them. But there are people, you have to learn how, because how you treat your volunteers determines their response to you.
True.
Instead of beating them down, can we even make room for them to grow? Make room for them to find that space. Let's talk about that.
I've worked with a worship leader before, and he was very, let me say, harsh on stage. This was in my early years when I was starting out singing outside of church or outside of my parents being with them. He was very harsh on stage. I remember sometimes the keyboardist he'd bring to play, I guess he was not playing like exactly what he wanted, the worship leader wanted him to play. So he, very many times, simamisha, toka, let me play. So he'd play and sing. Or like, if you're not following him properly, he turns back and like on stage.
Get it right.
Get it right. Like when we are in worship. And for me, especially at that age when I was still so young and still learning this thing, I feel like it was very, he wanted me to be a sinach. Exactly like you're saying, he wanted me to be a sinach, and there was no room for me to like make mistakes.
Yes.
At such a young level, at the starting stage, there was no room for mistakes, which was not a good thing. I feel like now when I advanced and now became part of a group which was Guru Band, which is now Worship Factory. When I joined that group, there was room for mistake, there was room for growth, there's room for teaching, there's room for expansion and all that. And so the same thing with your worship team members who, let's say, have just started out and they're just now for the first time holding a mic. They are probably holding a mic like this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay, continue.
You know, they don't even know how to hold a microphone. Teach them. They're here to learn. Ministry or church should be a place of growing gifts and growing all that. But at the same time, please, that person who needs to learn, please make sure that you're actually learning and growing and not just at the same place where you started at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to also know I'm running a school called the Music Ministers Bootcamp for worship ministers.
Yes.
Please reach out to me. Just check on Instagram, Solomon Sila, Facebook. Follow me. You'll get all that information because learn, invest in learning.
Yeah.
We'll continue with this in a few minutes. Let's get to hear some music and we'll be right back. God bless you.